Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, we're back to Gravity Falls now.
All right, let's do the video.
You're stuck with him. I'm sorry.
I can't. Can you just take me somewhere? Okay. Micah and I are gonna make our own island with blackjack and hookers.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
That's
what
not
joy.
gonna come off
Is
your
it
chin.
Mr. Upside Downington? How long's it been? 3rd grade, maybe?
That's right, and I'm here to
Oh.
give you an Upside Downington-tastic message.
Is it the message that we're getting too old for this sort of thing?
Kinda, actually. It's that we are exactly 1 week away from our 13th birthday!
Whoa! Our birthday's coming up already? Soon we're gonna be actual teenagers!
Finally, I can stop reading preteen magazine and start reading post-preteen magazine.
PG-13 movies? Here I come!
And just 1 more year until high school. High school, Dipper! Where girls become women and they teach us stuff about... You know what?
Trigonometry?
Oh yeah, baby.
That's not the only good news coming up. In 1 week, my senior citizen ponytail kit is coming in the mail.
No.
Midlife righteous.
Now you only look 58.
I'm going through some
1 week.
things.
My grandma is finally letting me eat crackers on my bed. The future is coming for us all, dudes.
The future.
The future!
The future!
I'm sorry, I can't take you seriously
So weird.
with that face on your chin.
What face, Dipper?
You're doing the voice, so you obviously know what I'm talking about.
I don't what you're talking about.
There is something wrong with you.
Damn kids.
Something wrong with both of us.
Here's something wrong with both. Yeah, that's about right. What?
Oh, it's the short one. That happens a lot, season 2.
All right, party planners. In 1 week, we become teenagers, and our summer vacation winds to an end. So we
Party
That is the
pack.
longest
the greatest
corgi.
party of all time. I'm talking
What a long
piñatas
boy.
with tinier piñatas inside.
Boom! Dreams coming true.
I'm talking
Dachshund
inviting
corgi.
everyone in town. Let's see.
You
Where
talking about
do we
corgi
stand with the gnome?
Is a
Not so
hybrid
fast,
corgi.
Goofus and Girl
It just looks
Goofus.
like
After that zombie incident, no one's throwing another party at my house. I keep finding little bits of the undead in the couch cushions.
Oh.
But Uncle Stan, we need some roof to raise.
Dude, you could rent out the Gravity Falls High School gym and have your party there. That place is empty all summer long.
The gym's a great idea, Seuss. To the high school!
Dipper, my face is on fire.
I'll just be a sec.
I gotta go do a thing.
Great Uncle Ford, are you okay?
Oh, yes, I'm fine. I just said that to make sure you'd come in here quickly.
But your face is on fire.
Yes, it's much faster than shaving. Now, listen, Dipper. I have a
I mean, he's
very
not wrong.
important mission, and you are the only one who can help me. Remember the rift in
an
dimensional
awful smell,
space-time I
though.
showed you?
What now?
Leaves an awful smell,
This is
though.
what Bill
Doesn't
has
bother
been
me.
waiting for. If it breaks, it will cause reality as we know it to completely unravel. A hypothetical and catastrophic event I call Weirdmageddon. Bill is out there, and he'd use any trick, from deception to outright possession, to make this happen. But for the sake of humanity, we mustn't let it.
What do we do?
We patch the rift. I'll explain on the way.
Oh, wait, what about Mabel?
It's okay, Dipper. You should totally go with Uncle Ford to save the world or whatever.
Are you sure?
We're gonna be doing birthday junk all week. Plus, I packed us walkie-talkies. Here's one for my party mission and one for your smarty mission.
I did mention that the fate of the universe is at stake, didn't I? Hurry! We haven't much time.
Thanks, J.K. Simmons.
Okay, Dipper. It's your first big mission with Ford. A chance to prove yourself.
Don't fuck up.
mess this up. I'm all right.
Dust inhalation.
Okay.
Whoa, Seuss, I thought you said this place was empty.
My dogs! What up?
Wendy, what are you doing here?
Ugh, high school registration.
Oh, you know, I'm only a year away from high school myself. Would you say your experience is more rom-com or wacky romp?
More like teen horror movie. High school is the worst. Classes get super hard, your body just flat out turns against you, and worst of all, everybody hates you.
Can't do it! Can't do it!
Thompson, it's okay.
Hormones are like a sweaty cage.
why aren't they singing about following their dreams? TV taught me that high school is like some sort of musical.
TV lied, man.
Huh.
If you could avoid growing up, do it.
High school?
Give anything to
Like
be
a
love again.
musical?
Anyway, what are you guys doing here?
High school
Just
music?
looking for a place to have my 13th birthday party.
Wendy, borderoy? I mean corduroy?
See what I mean?
Wow.
Oh, she looked like a Charlie Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Master Mabel to Dippity Dog, we can have our party at the gym, but we gotta talk about high school. I'm starting to think it might not be the awesome future we were expecting over.
I'm going through a bad patch, Mabel. We'll talk when I get back.
Dipper, come in, come in.
Hey, I know it'll make you feel better. Let's deliver some invites to your friends, huh?
Yeah.
Buddy.
Damn it.
Mabel? Mabel, you there?
Listen, Dipper. In
The
order
red
to seal
pack
a rift for
just
good, it's
ruined
going
that
to take an
sign.
adhesive stronger than anything on Earth.
Yep.
Something extraterrestrial in origin.
What do you mean?
Dipper, look at the peculiar shape made by those cliffs. Does it remind you of anything?
Shut up.
According to my research, the entire valley of Gravity Falls was formed when an extraterrestrial object crash-landed here millions of years ago.
It's been staring you in the face the whole
Did
time.
this craft cause the town's strange properties? Or did the town's strange properties
I mean, it's
attract
not
the
like an
craft?
aha
The
thing. I
answer
was
is
like,
still
oh,
unknown.
Yeah.
UFO. Like,
Crazy. Where did the
I don't think I've really
go?
seen pictures of that enough
Sometimes
to.
the strangest things in the world are right under our noses. And our feet, in this particular instance. Now, you might want to stand back. This magnet gun could rip the fillings out of a man's mouth from 100 feet. I used to raid this thing for parts for years.
I think mercury
Where do you think I
amalgams
got
are
the materials to
magnetic,
build my
but-
portal.
Nah.
Words not working from mouth.
Now come.
Been there.
Take this.
Like every other day.
Whoa!
Don't worry, I've been down here countless times. All the aliens have been dead for millions of years. Probably.
Probably.
Always got to end with probably
Oh, yeah.
when discussing most things,
I mean, you know.
because there's always a level of
Can't believe there's
uncertainty.
been a giant UFO under the town this whole time.
Especially
I
when
wish
you're
my
talking
mind
about
could be where yours
UFOs.
is right now, Dipper. When confirmation of extraterrestrials still had that punch. Now it's just sort of.
Average Tuesday.
Oh,
I know how he feels.
Tucker and I used to come down here all the time to raid their tech and study their language.
This is so cool.
Damn it.
The substance we need to seal the rift is an alien adhesive, strong enough to keep the hull of a spacecraft together.
I use that stuff a lot in
1
Fallout
pound of
3.
This adhesive should be enough to seal a
Yep.
crack in space-time. Also, if it touches you, it will seal up all the orifices in your face, so try to avoid that. Now, use your magnet gun and follow me. Up.
This is somewhere to take a 12-year-old.
Your turn.
You're
Say hop. It helps.
I feel like there should have been a little bit more of a tutorial for this video game.
Turn on. Come on already. Magnet. Little help.
happens.
Of course, if you point it up, you're gonna go up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi, Mabel. You're just in time for our 1 o'clock boy talk.
If you think that's good, boom! Me and Dipper's 13th birthday jam.
Oh, man. Your birthday's on the last day of summer. I'm not going to be here.
What?
Marius is flying me out to Austria to hang out at his castle or whatever that week. He's so clingy.
You're gonna be out of town for my birthday? But at least you can come, right, Candy?
Sorry, Mabel. My parents sent me to music camp this time of year. There is no escape from music camp.
So neither
Oh,
of you are
honey.
gonna be at my birthday party? And you won't be able to wish me goodbye at the end of the summer?
I'm sorry, Mabel.
Summer happens so fast. Oh, Marius! Now's not the time!
I think I need a radio for emotional backup.
Oh,
Dipper,
honey.
please come in. Our party mission is going down in flames.
Oh,
Over.
look at
Oh.
Candy being so sad.
Mabel, nipples
This is their
bouncing.
storage facility. This place would have been heavily guarded.
Grinda's
but
house
now
is
everything's
a
defunct.
mess.
Go ahead, flip any switch. They've all been busted for millions of years.
Flare off. Did you eat my farm?
Well, time to slaughter you.
So keep your eyes peeled.
Damn it, Clara.
Dipper, let me ask you something. You
Uh,
thought much about your future?
No, not really.
that
Graduating
skeleton.
high school with a high GPA so I can get accepted to a good technical college with a photography and media production minor to start my own ghost hunting show.
It's like talking to a younger version of myself.
If you're so sure of what you want out of life, why wait? Why put up with the drudgery of school?
Trust me, I'd love to fast forward the whole thing, but it's not like I have a choice.
Dipper, I've been thinking. I'm getting too old to investigate Gravity Falls on my own. I need to train an apprentice to help me fight monsters, solve mysteries, and protect this town.
And I think I'd like to keep it in the family.
What are you saying?
I've read your additions to my journal, and I'm impressed with your potential.
What would you say to staying in Gravity Falls after the summer ends and becoming my apprentice?
What about school?
Dipper, I have 12 PhDs. Your parents would be thrilled I could give you such an advanced education.
There's also Mabel. She'd be all alone in California.
Mabel will be fine on her own.
She has a magnetic personality. I watched her become pen pals with the pizza delivery man in the 60 seconds he was at the door.
Gosh, we've never
I
really
mean-
been apart before.
And isn't it suffocating?
Dipper, can you honestly tell me you never felt like you were meant for something more?
I don't know. Sounds like a dream come true, but I'm not sure I have what it takes. I was tricked by Bill, I was wrong about Stan's portal. Heck, I can't even operate this magnet gun right.
Oh, hey.
Yes! Dipper, you found the adhesive!
I did?
Oh, you really did it, kid! Huddle in, let's get a picture of this.
Uncle Ford, you said
It's
everything
stuck to
down
his
here
hand.
is dead, right?
Yes. Unless somehow we reactivated the security system.
Hi.
What do we do?
Listen to me very
Oh,
carefully.
it's not
I've
stuck to
studied
his hand.
these. They're security droids, and they detect adrenaline. You simply have to not feel any fear, and they won't see you.
What?
It's okay. I've done it before. Just take a deep breath, focus on your intellect, and control your fear.
What? That's crazy!
Follow my lead.
Great Uncle Ford!
Focus, Dipper!
I can't!
Get down!
Whoa.
Stay back! It's too dangerous! Sealing the rift is what's important now. Take this! You're gonna have to do it without me! Use the adhesive! Fix the rift! Save the universe, Dipper!
Hang on! I'm coming for you!
Oh dear.
Fix.
Don't worry! I'll get you out of there!
I don't know why I'm talking to the TV. I'm not going to change the show that came out like 2 years ago.
It's an automated prison droid! Wherever it's going, I'm not coming back!
What? No, no, no! Don't worry! I'll think of something!
Dipper! What on earth are you doing?
Hold on, Great Uncle Ford!
Duct tape.
I'm getting you out of this one way or another! Oh no! Come on! Come on!
Oh, hey. Well, crap. Oh no, hat.
Let go of my uncle!
Yeah, this is... Oh, he's going for the scrape. Hat.
Great Uncle Ford! Okay, let's try... Magnipulse!
Yeah, it'll work. I mean, you know.
Oh no! Oh no, 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 no! Come on, wake up, man! We gotta get out of here before...
The other one comes back.
Hey! I'm warning you! I have a magnet gun! Oh yeah? You think you can scare me? Do your worst! Nothing in this universe is gonna take away my uncle! So go ahead! Give me what you got!
Righteous Fury. That'll work too. You know, it's fine.
Oh, I thought I was a goner, kid.
Are you alright? What happened?
The orb didn't detect any chemical signs of fear. It assumed the threat was neutralized and then self-disassembled.
It's a weird detection system.
Right?
I did it?
You did it.
But also, presumably, people who belonged there also wouldn't trick
Yeah, because it's like...
because they weren't scared.
Yeah, they were supposed to be there.
But people with anxiety are fucked.
Oh, yeah.
So...
Hey, everything all right, Pumpkin?
I just can't believe the summer's almost over. And now that I know how awful high school is going to be, I'm in no hurry to start that train wreck.
Nobody likes getting older. But just because you're growing up doesn't mean you have to grow up, you know? I mean, look at me. I'm pushing 70 and I still eat ice cream for dinner.
But I don't want to say goodbye to Gravity
That's the dream.
Falls.
Hey,
You know.
At least whatever happens after this summer, you'll still have your brother along with you through thick and thin. Not everyone can say that, you know?
Yeah, at least when I go home, I always have Dipper. Good old, reliable old.
Listen to me, Dipper. This town is a magnet for things that are special.
And that includes you and me.
It brought both of us here for a purpose. Stay here with me, Dipper. Become my apprentice. Don't let anyone hold you.
I'll do it. I'm gonna stay.
Excellent. Now, who wants to save the world? Apprentice?
Yes, let's carry this old man home. This old man who's 3 times my size.
I just had the best day of my life. UFOs are real, and there's one under the town, and I saved Great Uncle Ford's life, and hey,
Hey.
are you okay?
Tell me it's not true, Dipper. Tell me you were joking.
We're doing this.
Yep, we're doing this.
Ford's apprentice? Seriously?
Look, I was thinking, and this is a huge opportunity for me.
Well, it's a horrible opportunity for me. I had the worst day of my life. When we turn 13, the summer ends, and I have to leave everything behind. You're the only person I could count on, and now you're leaving me too?
Look, I've been thinking about it. I won't be gone forever, okay? I'll still visit you at home, and we'll chat online. We'll make it work.
I don't want it to work. I just wish summer could last forever.
But it can't, Mabel. Look, things aren't gonna stay frozen this way. It's part of growing up. Things change. Summer ends. Mabel, wait! I didn't mean it like that! Mabel, come back!
Oh no, did she grab his bag instead?
Yep. Good catch.
Only party chocolate can cheer me up now. Nerd books! Chewed up pins! Ugh, wrong backpack. It's not fair. I just wish summer could last.
Sweater Town.
That might be possible.
Sweater Town is not accepting incoming calls right now.
Mabel, it's me.
What? Who said that?
I can help.
Oh, this guy.
The time travel guy? What are you doing here?
You said you don't want summer to end, right? Did I hear that right?
Yeah? Why are you asking?
Look, maybe it's against the rules, but you once did a favor for me, so I thought I could help you out. It's called the time bubble, and it prevents time from going forward. Summer in Gravity Falls can last as long as you want it to.
Really? does it work?
I just need you to get a little gizmo for me from your uncle. Something small. He won't even know it's missing.
Huh. Maybe Dipper has something like that in his nerd bag.
Let me guess. Mabel didn't take it well?
I don't know. Maybe I'm making the wrong decision. I need to think about this.
Dipper, right now we need to focus on the mission.
Now come on, I've got the glue, hand me the rift, and let's make history.
What? No! The rift!
Huh. That's odd. Is this it?
Yes, that's it! Just hand it over and I'll do my thing. Unless you're ready to leave Gravity Falls.
Just a little.
That's not the time guy. That's Bill, isn't it?
Yep, you called it.
He's possessed him. Sleep.
At long last, the gate between worlds has opened. The event 1 billion years prophesied has come to pass. The day has come. The world is finally mine.
And as it's been said once before, all hell breaks loose.
Spaghetti.
What's going on? What is that?
The rift.
We're too late. It's the end of the world.
Wow.
Yep. Yep.
People are screaming in the distance.
That's super well done. Because you don't see any of that, but you hear it all, and you're just focusing on this. That's beautifully well done.
Yeah. The next 3 episodes are pretty much.
It's a 3-parter.
It's the experience altogether is called Weirdmageddon, and I gotta be honest, it's probably my favorite episodes. It's probably my.
I mean, they're real good.
Yeah, I mean, she's, and they're best experienced in one go. So,
which is better than how most people experienced them, which is with a big
5 months apart.
Yeah.
Whoa. Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Matter of fact, let's look at the release dates.
They
Just
weren't
for
that far apart.
just for shits and giggles.
I kind of get some of the criticisms I've been hearing because I love this show, but like the Mabel Dipper disparity is really annoying, especially in this one. Because I was like,
And they tried to mirror it on the Grunkles.
right, yeah, and that kind of is annoying. I mean, I kind of get that, but it's like,
Yeah, they weren't that far.
it was kind. Well, it was almost weird.
November to February, really?
Because in the beginning,
That's 4 months.
I mean,
I do not remember it being that far.
we started watching the show after 2 came out.
No. What?
After Weirdmageddon 2 came out, I'm pretty sure.
I'd already seen the show. I started watching after Not What He Seems. And was caught up by the time A Tale of Two Stands came out.
Okay.
But I was behind. I didn't watch Weirdmageddon. I don't know if I watched Weirdmageddon until it was all done. Now that I think about it.
Yeah,
I don't remember though. Anyway.
I remember waiting and waiting and waiting for Weirdmageddon for the 3rd part.
Mm-hmm.
And then it finally dropped. And I was just like, holy crap.
See, I don't remember that. But maybe I didn't watch it until Weirdmageddon 3 came out already. Because I tend to get behind on things.
It happens.
Because I'm like a full season behind on Steven Universe. So,
Yeah. And like,
it's pretty wicked, huh? Imagine that. Imagine having
and
to
there
wait
was
4
a
months.
month gap between part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
It's wild. Why do I not remember that?
I don't know.
I blocked it out.
I mean, that's fine. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. God. So guess what we're doing for the next Gravity Falls reaction?
Oh, God.
We're doing a
movie.
threefer.
I mean, it might come out in 3 different parts, but it'll be that Gravity Falls movie. And
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
So they basically,
I'm excited.
They basically made a movie, like a TV movie, to end it.
Well,
yes, but
Yeah.
it came out,
In
way
multiple
apart.
parts,
Yeah.
Well, honestly, they did a recut of it all together
Uh-huh.
and just called it Weird Mageddon, the
Mhm.
movie. And it actually had stuff in it that wasn't included in the original TV series run.
Huh.
Huh.
I know that. I think the last episode was actually intended to be split into 2 parts, because there is in the episode listing, there's actually 4 episodes of Weird Mageddon listed, which threw me. And then I was like, oh wait, it's a 2-parter, so they actually have it set as 3 and 4. But because 3 and 4 aired as one, so for like rewatching of the show, because it's an hour long, they have 3 and 4.
Huh.
So it's weird.
So it's an hour and a half.
I mean, obviously it's Weird Mageddon, but
That's going to be a thing.
yep,
Absolutely. I can't
it's
wait.
gonna be a whole thing.
Micah,
Oh boy,
the
you're in
stuff
for
that
it.
you are okay. From the opening to the very ending, you will not know what to expect.
That's fine. I mean, I don't really know what to expect with this show. I mean, it's kind of off the wall.
Yeah.
But you've enjoyed it so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
This ought to keep us entertained for the next 22 minutes.
But yeah, I mean, I know the Dipper Mabel thing, especially on a rewatch, is very.
Yeah.
But they are children. I mean, they're
Right.
13. I mean, they're not. They're almost 13, right? And
They
when
may as well be
You're
13.
a selfish little bugger when you're 13.
Right.
To paraphrase the Hogfather.
Well, it does seem a little
Like-
imbalanced.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. They've made Dipper almost too mature for his age.
Mhm.
but also,
Well, it's not really
like,
that. I kind of wish they gave Mabel a little bit more credit, because as far as twins, they're kind of outliers
Yeah.
from like normal kids in this universe.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they're trying to play too hard into like, oh, we're so different. Like our great uncles are so different, and
Right.
it's like.
Well,
That
see,
doesn't make her any less smart or
Mhm.
like
mature. It's
I
just,
ran into a similar problem with the Last Airbender, Avatar: The Last Airbender, the show, because you saw the review. There's Katara and Sokka, who are brother and sister, but like Sokka was completely played for comedy relief right up until the end of the show. just
No,
about.
there were several
There
serious
were
parts.
little moments here and there.
Well, there were
but-
I mean, the whole UA thing was also a serious moment for Sokka.
Yeah,
Um,
but how infrequently those happen compared to what Katara got.
Right.
well, I mean, Toph was often played for laughs too,
Yeah,
by
but
being stubborn.
but Toph also got to be a badass.
Well, it's because she's a bender,
Yeah,
whereas
And
that-
there's the problem that they fixed in Korra.
well, it's because technology advanced in Korra,
Uh-huh.
whereas it did not. I mean, it's the feudal system pretty much in
Yeah.
in
In
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
But also, I don't know how much I can say without.
If you
Spoiling
don't feel
things.
confident saying it without
Well, it tied into a lot. Like, it pretty much fueled the plot of the first season of Korra. Is like that the disparity that they
between-
created
yes.
in the first show was
Between benders and non-benders.
yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Like, it
yeah.
fueled season 1 of Korra, and I love that.
well, yeah. I mean, that's it shows you the advancement of humanity, not just the advancement of benders, Benders have adapted into society alongside of regular humans, and
then the regular humans go, "Hey, wait, how about we get some screen time for once?"
Yeah.
No, they do. Well,
exactly.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah.
That's the point. They have their own uses now, because it's just like,
but
it's just like going
they're
up against.
Still not considered as important as Benders, even though technology has advanced to the point where they can do some of the things Benders can do.
Well, case in point, everything. Okay,
Micah, I'm sorry I made this about Last Airbender.
Oh, it's fine.
No. Okay, for instance,
obviously I'm the only one who hasn't seen it, so I don't really.
For instance,
have a dog in this
answer
fight.
me this. Answer me this.
Do you want to have a dog?
No.
Okay.
The first group to properly implement gunpowder and, rifle, guns.
Was the Chinese.
Well, no. Into their arsenal became, revolutionized warfare.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It did not matter how many men you had. All that mattered is if you had enough bullets.
And really, like, training didn't matter either.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Because, anybody with a gun, if the gun was, halfway accurate and, you made the shot, you could take out any knight that was coming at you.
Yeah. If you had the gun and they didn't.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like the British pretty much took over a third or a fourth of the world with their tactics and with their implementation of guns and gunpowder and cannons and everything. And it wasn't until kind of like guerrilla warfare what undid a lot of conventional warfare back in the day.
Yep.
The same thing could be said for Avatar: The Last Airbender, whereas, they had conventional warfare to some degree where benders could be fought back against, but not to the degree that was in Korra because of technology.
Yeah.
You see, the leaps forward in technology even the playing field even more. It'll never be 100% even because benders are always going to have that unnatural ability to do God knows what with the elements that are at their disposal.
Well, the issue, it's not really a power issue, but it's like the way that the show was written in Last Airbender, it felt like non-benders were second-class characters.
Well, and and there were times when they addressed that fully from non-bender characters in Avatar: The Last Airbender, but not very often. And most of the time it was kind of like it was a one-off and then they don't talk about it again.
Yeah.
Right?
Which means that it's not addressed really at all.
No, it was, but it wasn't addressed in the narrative of the show going forward.
Truth be told, they could not fully address it until the playing field was evened a little more.
Well, and that's not the point. What I'm saying is there were characters, like especially from the Earth Kingdom, that were like, if you're not a bender, you can't do anything to protect yourself. I don't remember, there were multiple episodes where this happened, and it wasn't.
So basically, you're saying that it felt like any non-benders were relegated to red shirt status, basically.
Yeah, kind of.
Yes,
or
and there were a couple times when unnamed characters or character of the week characters would say, "Hey, this isn't right," but there was nothing to be done about it because they were still.
Let's not forget there were also.
There was nothing to be done about it.
Well, let's not also forget there were also some characters who didn't have bending abilities that actually did really big things.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point. I can't go there because they'll give spoilers. Shit.
Well, anyway.
But yes, But yes, anyway.
Yeah.
Back to the point at hand. The difference between Dipper and Mabel is that Mabel places a whole lot of emphasis on loyalty and family and friendship, and Dipper, appreciates loyalty and friendship, but he would place knowledge above that, and that's the problem. It's not really that she's less mature; it's more that she would place her relationship with another person over trying to learn things, and Dipper doesn't do that.
That's fine, but at the same time, like, Dipper is his own person. If he wants to do something, it's really selfish of her to think that she should be able to change that.
Right.
Agreed. I
I
agree
mean
with
that's also true. It's
But you're
Because-
selfish when you're a kid. You want what you
Right,
want.
but it seems
That's
like
true.
more and more, it's like Mabel's expecting Dipper to make the sacrifice for what she wants.
Yeah,
Right.
and
'Cause
I've,
I thought it was kind of weird when she was like supportive and gave him the backpack with the walkie-talkie, and I was like, that's a really good compromise from the way this usually goes. I'm shocked.
yeah, it's like
This seems
oh,
like
hey,
progress.
This went really
No-
well.
But
no
then she had a
progress.
really bad day, and then she was like, "Oh nope, I'm done with this."
yeah. Well, when
So-
when Mabel said, "Well, what about what I want? What I just don't want summer to last forever." Mabel, guess what? I want a 6-pack and $50 million in my bank account.
That's
It's not
fine.
gonna fix anything.
That's a lot.
But sometimes you just want what you want, even though it's not logical. That's just human nature, right?
And sometimes you gotta grow up.
Yes, and she's working on that, but she's 13. Well, she's 12.
Right.
Right, and, she's going through, I mean, yes, it was a 12-year-old crisis, but she was going through a crisis that day. Not that I think she was completely selfish and off base by saying, you're not allowed to do this thing because I don't want you to do it.
But
I
mean,
you have to consider the context.
It is
Right.
a crisis to her,
Right.
and even if it's dumb, it's like
It's still
Yeah.
her crisis.
yeah, like it's her crisis to go through.
Oh, that's fine. It's just
Yeah.
Yes,
That
yeah.
stuff
I can
anno-
see why that would.
that
why
stuff
it's
annoys
really
the crap out of me
annoying.
because
Yes.
I don't operate on those pathways at all.
Yeah.
And never really have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see that's the thing. Dipper really doesn't either.
So he really just like, I don't know why you're so upset about this.
So maybe you understand it better than some people do, because it's just like, you're cogent enough to say, I just don't operate on those pathways.
Yeah.
Which is
Honestly, I don't either. So I don't blame you.
That's what
and
stinks.
I
Well,
I
it's
know
just-
some people that do.
Because I super love Mabel and like her personality and how she reacts to scenarios, but at the same time, it's like it's not really.
And it does feel a little ham-handed
Yeah.
to write it that way. And like once, sure, twice, this is like 4 or 5.
Right.
And I feel like with the way Bill operates, turning people against each other, he's just gonna like drive that nail home, and it's just gonna be.
Well, he knew
annoying.
exactly what buttons to press when
Yeah.
he came to her. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
It didn't really matter who he even showed up as, although the fact that he showed up as Blendon
The
is
reason
like...
he showed up as Blendon is because at that point in time, she was saying, "I want the summer to last forever."
And the thing is, she's like, he might be able to actually do something.
Right.
Well, and Mabel's kind of got that like pure-hearted, like, oh, we did him a favor, so naturally he would really want to help us. She kind of always wants to believe,
Good things about people. Yeah. The last Mabel Corn was kind of
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Grinda got to punch a unicorn, so that was
That was
important.
great.
Unicorns are
episode.
jerks, man.
Yeah, seriously.
All right.
Look.
But that was an
Lawful good does not mean they're not smug.
That was an exhaustive conversation on the disparity between Dipper and Mabel. We're gonna write an essay someday. No, we're not.
I mean, we could probably
could
get a
consider-
thesis out of this.
You
but,
can consider this video our essay, and essays. You can go home.
I'm not shaking your hand for that.
That's
that was
fine. It was
awful.
terrible. All right.
I'm glad we
so
agree. Good
I'm
night,
Elena,
everybody.
and I tell terrible jokes. That's Ben, and he tells terrible jokes. That's Nate, and he tells terrible jokes. And that's Micah, and he hates the government. And we're gonna go. Oh, and that's Chico. He's asleep.
He hates everybody.
Bye.